Hello everybody, today we're gonna be actually test fitting this. So I did post, I think it was about 4 shorts before actually recording this video, which was about an hour ago. So we're gonna be actually test fitting this. So after mocking it up, I was gonna put everything back together, but it's like there really isn't a point. But I noticed the holes on the mount were too big, and I actually had to change out the screws for some pretty long ones with a pretty big washer. But I don't know if you guys can really see it, but I'm gonna mock it up, and I described that. Take it the phone off the stand here. That the mount wouldn't actually fit because of how it was positioned, but I made 2 pretty big mistakes, and the second mistake actually turned out to make the first mistake not as bad. Pretty much what happened was the mount was too big, so it wasn't really made too well, so it wouldn't fit. But I made it. I can flip this so the height of this is a bit taller, but I actually made this a bit too low here, which was actually kind of intended because the wheels can actually lift it up a bit. But you guys can see, if I mock it up here, I'm actually going to grab one of these bolts here, and I'm going to kind of use my stomach to hold it still as I get the nut off. But move it. Jinx and Bruno are playing around. I know it sounds like they're fighting, but that's how they play. I know this because they do that all the time. At first I was very concerned, but yeah, it's not how it turns out. So I actually got a case on this phone, so hopefully my thumb won't, or my hand won't accidentally tap the screen or something, which my skin doesn't tap the screen at all. That won't make the camera cut out. So if I actually put this in the tallest one here, which I actually have to put the ginormous washer on because of how big the hole is. I put this in the top one, which is supposed to be a lot taller, up to the smaller bolt, the smaller size, but apparently if I get this just a bit closer, that's another predicament. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take that off. I'm gonna have to mount that over here. Didn't want to do that because I'll do a short demonstration. Just set that bolt down so it doesn't fall. As we all know, Newton's laws and aerodynamics and drag and whatnot are gonna all play a factor in this. Especially this. Bam, nowhere to go. And then it just goes underneath. But I can always put a piece of plastic there. It's not entirely my worries right now. The big worry was that if I put the wheel here, yes, it would work. But not only is there a lot shorter space, so putting a screw in might actually cause this to crack open. But I think this is hard oak wood, I believe this is. I forgot what it is. But putting the wheel here, yes, would work. But snow would keep hitting the wheel. Eventually it hit this so much, it caused it to kind of just fly all over the place. And that wouldn't be too nice, but I guess either gonna have to just put it here and set it, or get a little piece of plastic that kind of goes outwards a bit. And the neighbor's dog's barking. Great. Here comes the husky to investigate. Jinx, you're fine. Poor dog. I tell ya, having a husky and an elk-hound mix, it really isn't the greatest. But going back to the main point here, if I put this through, you guys might be able to see it, but screw scoot this over a little bit. You guys might not be able to see it, but the twist it, you guys can kind of see it there. See it's twisting. It's at the top one on the mount, but it's actually going through the bottom hole on the one there. So if you guys can, I don't see it or not, but the bottom hole on the mount just goes to nowheres pretty much. So yeah, that's something. I'd take the chain off too because of that. And just doing a bit of explaining on the plow too. These are the back pieces on lawnmowers, on push mowers. That's gonna kind of like brush the snow because it's gonna have to go a little bit higher, so the bolt can kind of wiggle, which is actually intended because if this thing all of a sudden hits a bump, I don't want this thing to either break the mount or cause the mower to lift straight up. The wheels, of course. And of course, we got to remove the big bulky. Well, now that I think about it, really, with this on here, I wouldn't have to technically remove the deck because the snow can't get through to actually hit the deck, which means I can then use the deck as a snow blower, I guess, because it blows the air out, I guess. But also another thing that could be done, I was thinking because it's probably a really bad idea, but get because we've got some crappy push mowers that I believe I have one that has only 2 back wheels, which is actually perfect. Have the push mower up at an angle a little bit, so that way the blade isn't just on the ground. It's actually like the blade is kind of like this a bit, and then drive the GX75, and that push mower would be here just blowing the snow instead of actually picking up the snow, chewing it up, and blasting it off by the curb. It would just be literally pushing the snow, which near Two Rivers, a lot of our snow is just fluff, pretty much. It doesn't actually get hard. It's just fluff. You can literally, I've seen people just this winter, people were literally taking out, there were people down our block that had big shop brooms and big long brooms that you use in a warehouse or something to clean it up. And they were literally using that and just sweeping the snow to the grass. I thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, it to be expected. We actually had a pretty good amount of snow this winter, so last year we had almost no snow at all. Cars weren't even having troubles driving, but cars were having a bit of troubles driving this winter. Back to the main point. So, I did make it so, or I did intend on having to drill holes or something in this. I didn't make any pre-made ones, but I did intend on having to do something like that. So that's kind of this top piece's purpose, but the main purpose is because if snow, that's why you guys can see the slope here. Snow, if it does decide to, it'll come up and it will hit this slope and it'll hit this guard and it'll cause it to just go up and off instead of blowing up and onto the GX75, because that wouldn't be too pretty. But I already know you guys are gonna say, well, this thing isn't made for winter, but I was riding this thing up and down. This thing was my daily during the winter. It drove through snow decently, except for when that tire right there. This tire would sometimes get full of snow, and it pretty much just become a racing slick and would have no traction. This wheel, I mean, sometimes it would slip, but this wheel was the one that got traction the most. But that wheel, I think I just want to get a spare of this and another one of this. So I've got 2 of these and 2 of these, because this could be for like a snow tire, a grippy tire. But you guys probably haven't seen it or paid attention to it in videos. But when I roll this thing back and forth, if you listen, hear that dun 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 dun. That's because these treads are so big that it's actually causing the lawnmower to vibrate, pretty much. So that's why it doesn't really get traction too well with that tire, because it's just bouncing around the whole time. Which sometimes, if the front end does get stuck, the back end will literally just start bouncing around. I mean, it's ultimately funny, but in the end, you're gonna end up breaking a shaft or something. I don't think I did a video on it, but I did actually end up rebeating this, and then using pliers to clamp it down to smush it. But yeah. Now, Craftsman, I'm not sure what's capable, but this is a 3-blade deck here for my dad's mower. I know we're getting off topic here, but I kind of need to make a variety of things here. So if we be nice and gentle with this, you guys can see 1, 2, 3. This is for my dad's John Deere, which will be here someday. Like, hopefully by the end of this month. It's going to be here this summer, pretty much. And it's a John Deere 212. So on the dashboard, you got a gauge for amps. And then there's a little screw thing on it, where you take it out. It's actually the fuse for the lights on the front. You guys can look up pictures. Yeah, that's the deck for that. Now, that mower, you can put a dozer blade on it. Or it's like a dozer blade, but it's also a snowplow at the same time. I'm not entirely sure how to describe it. It's like a leveler for like your silage or whatever it's called. But this mower, however, it tells you what you can put on this. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to go over this thing over here and go over here. If you guys can read that. Model number and fast attach description. So you got these are all OEM parts. All the start numbers are 190. But they got 601, which is the twin bagger for the 42-inch deck. I'll just read off the numbers here, but you got the 601, the 112, the 602, the 118, 822, 823, 603, 604. So the entire number. So for the twin bagger for the 42-inch deck, its number is OEM-190-1601. Now there's also a mulcher kit for the 42-inch deck, which I'm pretty sure is the deck this thing has. Also, I need one of these for the GX75, or I can get a bag for it, which apparently Reester and Chanel don't offer. But now you got the emulger kit. You have a twin bagger for a 46-inch deck, and a emulger kit for the 46-inch deck. You got a 46-inch dozer blade, a 42-inch 2-stage snow thrower. You got a grill guard and a yard mate tool and storage chest. I mean, literally, it tells you what you can get for this thing. And honestly, it's just amazing. By the way, I'm not sure if it's a Yard or if it's a Craftsman or John Deere, but I'm pretty sure the brand is Yard Machine because that is the name that is stamped all over this thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a 42-inch, I think. I'm not entirely sure. No, never mind. It says it right there. 17.5 horsepower compared to my 13.5. It's a 46-inch by... It's a Yard Machine by MTD. So, another true automatic. Which, if it's automatic, literally pushing it does nothing. Same here. Nothing. Also, I'll just show you guys now, but I gotta do the same thing to the GX75. Don't worry, I probably gotta get a new starter for it anyway, so I really don't care if I were to start doing it. But if I just take this cover off simply, I used the starter to turn this flywheel, and I held a wire brush right here, and as this was turning, the wire brush, I actually cleaned it. Apparently there's surface rust coming back, probably because of the rain, so... I also did the same thing here. Surface rust yet again is starting to reappear. But I gotta do the same thing with the GX75. I'm not sure I'm gonna stop it from getting rusty. But yeah. Luckily this is just a full flesh seat. Doesn't have a bead. I had to re-bead my dad's bead on it though. Poor dude has to, because it fell off. You have to use this. So if I put this up here, using my leg to hold it, I'm gonna use this and put the hook through the drilled hole just to hold it. Yeah, don't drill holes like I did when I wanted to mount headlights. I wanted to mount one. I broke a drill bit doing it. There's a hole that's now rusting. That's when I was like, what, a month after I got this thing, I think. Yeah, now back to the main point. You guys are probably actually here for. I'm having brain farts today. Now for the snow plow, the GX75. So this actually goes on here pretty easy, but I already know this is really it's gonna fit, and pretty much it. I mean, I can still put it on. It'll be kind of just a waste of time because then it's gotta come right back off. But then again, I gotta upload something for the channel, because in order to actually get this channel to be somewhat popular, the rule of thumb is you have to upload something at least once a week, which if you guys look at my feed for my shorts and videos. I'm not doing too good at that because there's not much I can really record. So, but I have to take these screws here. I gotta take their nuts and washers off. I'll try and do it in front of the camera's view here, but I'm gonna take my wire brush, which is in terrible condition, and try and clean the threads on here. But just gonna hold it by the tip and just brush. Yeah, just simply brushing it. There. Now I'm going to show you guys this one before and after. You guys can kind of see it's got a bit of dirt in it. I'm going to just simply brush it. Now you guys can see it's a lot better. And I can put it really close to camera. Apparently, well, by the looks of the screen, it's actually blurring, make it blurry, but it's actually really clean, and the threads weren't damaged by doing that. So now just got to get this on. If it actually fits, just wiggle it, make sure it actually holds on decently. Obviously, other modifications are going to be made to this in the future, but most of this is going to be done when it's summertime and I can actually full on test this, which hopefully, I doubt I'm going to be able to do it because GoPros are extremely expensive. Like, isn't a GoPro like 50 to like $100 or something? It's something absurd, I'm pretty sure, last time I checked. But I want to try and get like some sort of camera I can, like a GoPro I can put on my head so you guys can see. But with computers and editing videos, I'm not very good at that. So I'm gonna have to somehow get like files or something, or try and figure out how to do that. But see if this can go on. You guys aren't really gonna see too much of this process, and I'm sorry about that. But really, right now there is nothing I can do. I'm gonna pull these wheels in. But I'm trying really what I can here. And it's gonna be hard because I'm only 16 and I'm only in 10th grade, going on to 12th grade. By, what was it, like September, I think, when school starts again? Here in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Not entirely sure. The washer. But, yeah, my dad is trying, or wants me to get a job. So I can at least have a stable income for when I want to get an actual job. Get my job that I'm going for, which is a police officer. Shocker, I know. It's not the best decision, but guess what? Don't care. I want to pursue my dreams. My dad can, well, not to be rude, but my dad can try and crush my dreams all he wants. What he does won't work. But, yeah, so My dad told me, "Hey, you're 16 now. You can start paying for rent." I was like, I was thinking to myself, well, I'm not 18 yet, so technically he has to supply me with the house. So I looked up online the Wisconsin law and all that, and since I'm not 18, aka meaning I'm a minor, since I'm not 18, he can't force me to pay for rent or help pay for rent. He can't force me to do that. Even if I have a job, he can't force me to do it because I'm not 18. I mean, sure, I might do it. I might do it willingly. I was thinking I have to do it. I was like, no, I don't think that's how it works. I didn't say anything to him. I was just silent the whole time. But, yeah. Things with my parents haven't been, they've been a bit rough. Because I'm 18 and they want to have me do all this stuff. And it, honestly, it's just, really, if I gotta be honest, they're trying to do too much at once. And it really is starting to get overwhelming. But in the end, it is what it is. I'm trying to become a somewhat good YouTuber here. I mean, doing YouTube has been a dream of mine for a long time, and also so is being a police officer. But really, what I'm trying to say here is, really, if you got a dream of some sorts, pursue it. Don't give up. Never, ever give up on your dreams. Your parents can try and crush your dreams all they want. Don't, and I mean don't, fall for it. Do not stop. They can try and crush, saying, oh, this could happen, or something like this will happen, but honestly, if I get shot or killed being a police officer, so what? I want to protect my home. So, I'm gonna die helping, or not helping. If I'm gonna pass being a police officer, I want to pass protecting my home, which is Two Rivers, Wisconsin, because this is where I've grown up. But there's a lot of things I'm trying to figure out, including like how DMs and everything works, stuff like that. Because I honestly have absolutely no clue. And probably one reason why I'm such a good police officer, or not police, one reason I'm probably such good at doing all this stuff, because my dad, he's taught me a lot. But then, yet again, he hasn't really taught me too much. A lot of the stuff I have learned, mechanical-wise, is like Car Mechanic Simulator, or Need for Speed Most Wanted, the 2012 version, not 2008. But a lot of stuff I've learned is actually playing video games and simulators, which proof, yet again, to parents that say games don't teach you jack squat. They do. Among Us teaches you not to trust anybody. Don't trust strangers. Which Among Us actually does a really good job at that. But there's so many things that go on. Oh gosh dang it, my pliers aren't long enough. My fingers are too big. But although a lot of stuff goes on, games really do teach you something. Like my dad Like, he thinks, oh, you've learned so much mechanical stuff because I've taught you, but really, he's taught me barely anything, to be honest. I let him have that glory. He can believe it if he wants, but really in the long run, Car Mechanic Simulator has taught me plenty. So, but also, Dean's Small Engines, if you're watching this, just want to tell you that some of the lives you do, while I do really want to join them, sometimes I really can't because this is my weekend going to Grandma's. So if you make a live this weekend, I can join it. But I'm there every other weekend. So this weekend, I will be at my grandma's, so I can join your live. But the weekend after this weekend, I'll be here at home, which my siblings are plenty loud. So it's be really hard to like do a live with you then. But that's kind of why I don't join some of your lives, because I either don't see them too late, or I just can't because my siblings. I'm sorry if I've disappointed you at all or anything. I wish the tip of these needle nose were magnetic. See if I could just shove it to the edge so I can grab it. There we go. But yeah, it's been quite a lot going on. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get this on because this thing is so big that it's hard to get all this in there. See if I can get this. Put my finger to the side. Nope. Alright, I'm gonna turn the tires quick. Okay, it's hitting the plow now. Don't go anymore. See if that will give me wiggle room to put my pliers by the opening over here. See if I don't think it's gonna work. That sucks. Oh, hold on. Trying to get this to... And I screwed it up. Wow.